Hey, what's up, Art Geeks? How's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? I hope so, because I'm doing pretty okay. It's the morning of Wednesday. What is it? What is the date today? Check it out here really quick. I can't keep track of things. It's the 17th, July 17th, 2024. It's a nice day. I have to go outside for a little walk today. I don't know. But anyway, let me refocus. Refocus time. Okay. So the video you're watching today is of me painting something I did on last Sunday. And oh my gosh, my shirt is so wrinkly. I just took it right out of my hamper. I mean, it's clean, my clean hamper. Don't get me wrong, it's a clean shirt. But oh my God, that sucker is wrinkly. All right, sorry, I'm getting distracted here. The video you're watching is of me painting something from last Sunday. And it was like a good week of me not painting for a while, and it was a rough go. I tell you what, I actually painted the same thing on Saturday, and about an hour and a half in, I gave up. It was not going good. So I threw it away. I tear it up, I painted over it, just slapped some paint, like screw this thing. I just threw paint all over it and tore it off, and luckily it was just on paper. The second one too is on paper, so it's not the end of the world, a little lost paint. But after a week, you lose something. I've noticed that when I go a week, whether it's on vacation, whether I am, just had office stuff going on. This last week was rough because I had just a lot of office things to catch up on. I had some artwork to ship out to my gallery in Denver, ABEND gallery, got some things I was shipping out there. And it was just one of those weeks where I couldn't get my flow. I like to paint every day. I try to paint every day because I know if I don't, I may take the weekend off. I take a couple days off, it's not the end of the world, but Monday through Friday, I try to paint as often as possible. And that's what keeps the flow going. That's what keeps the brain, all the gears turning. Everything works a lot better when you paint daily. But last week was a different story, and I thought this video would be a good time to talk about why you should never, or if you're a new artist, this is where I get into the advice part. This is where I try to give some wisdom. I don't know if I have much wisdom, but one of the things I learned repeatedly is that you gotta practice regularly. So to give you some advice, if you're a new artist and you're trying to get better at painting and you're just obsessed with it, you want to get better, just make sure that your obsession carries over to you practicing regularly. You can think about painting all day long, but if you're not sitting down and doing the actual work, you're not going to progress. And I wish I could have told myself this 20 years ago, because for the longest time I painted just here and there. It was just a hobby. I loved doing it. I worked at architecture firms for about 14 years, and during that time I just draw and paint in my spare time. A lot of the time I just give gifts to people of paint. Usually it's like the girlfriend at the time. It sounds like I had tons of girlfriends, but I didn't. I give paintings away to my girlfriends for their birthdays, and that was like a big motivation for me, was to paint that way. It was usually like abstract paintings, things like that. But I would just paint as a hobby. It was nothing, I enjoyed it, I loved it, but it wasn't until like the last 15 years where I really got serious about it. And I noticed that you just get better when you paint daily. Now, if I was to give advice to those of you that are just getting started, I think the first thing you need to do is realize where your deficiencies are. And what I mean by that is, there's a lot of different things that you need to get good at. For me, I remember when I switched from drawing with pencil to paint, the first thing I did was paint abstract, just to get comfortable with color. And I was actually an acrylic painter back then. And it was a long, rough road to getting comfortable with color, because I thought in black and white, I thought in shadow and light, and that was it. And that was enough for me. I mean, just to get that part, to get tones figured out, to get value tones, same thing. To get all that figured out, it can take a bit of effort. And I would say that, man, my shirt is just so wrinkly. Oh my God. To get better at that, is one thing in itself. So if you're deficient in painting with understanding value, seeing value, just looking at a portrait and seeing the overall values, then the detailed values and all the values, how they all connect, work on that. That's one of the first things you can do. If you want to work on color, just focus on color, practice color every day. Go through all the colors. Go to the internet, find artists that you love, and find palettes that you like and just try to replicate them. That's one of the best things you can do, is just try to replicate other people's palettes. You don't have to create the exact same painting, but just maybe take a photo of it, or snapshot, whatever you're going to do on Instagram, bring it into an app, and maybe there's free apps out there where you can just pick the color. Photoshop's a good one. $10 a month you have Photoshop. Pick the colors, pick the dark color, the mid-tone, and the light colors, and just try to recreate that palette. Maybe you could just paint a sphere or something like that. That's a good way to do it. You can paint a sphere. And then go from palette to palette to palette, painting something very simple, and get comfortable with color. That's a great way to just get your practice going, practicing something daily. And once you've done that for 10, 20 little sketches, get some cheap paper, get some cheap canvas, something where you don't care if it's a masterpiece or not, and go with that. And then once you get the color figured out, jump to values again. Once you get that figured out, and you're maybe trying to get better at portrait painting, just paint the most straightforward, like this. Straightforward. Don't try to get crazy angles of people's faces. It gets more complicated, but just a nice straight looking forward portrait of somebody, and paint that 10 times. Use the same color palette, but paint that 10 times every day, and that will really help you get better with portraits. So I think the key is just to kind of compartmentalize things. You want to work on color, you want to work on values, you want to work on drawing. Freehand drawing is always great to work on in your early days of learning how to paint. But everybody gets better naturally, and it's really just a matter of how much and how often you paint. Because you'll see, if you go to, those K through 12, I'm in the United States, so K through kindergarten through 12th grade, you can go to those exhibits, right, where you see people at kindergarten, you see people at 12th grade, and you see the progression of how they improve. And it's just because they naturally are painting. Every time they paint something new, they get better. But you can accelerate that. So simply accelerate it as much as you can, paint daily. It's about as much as, if you can paint 2 things a day, then you're really ahead of the curve. Most people, if they have a day job, don't have time to paint for 4 hours a day. In my younger years, I could probably do that when I could paint till midnight and then go to sleep. But these days, at my age, it's just, I got to have some downtime a little sooner in the night, so I don't have as much free time to do that kind of thing. So yeah, as you can see with this painting, I don't know where we're at. I'm just sitting on my couch. I have no idea where this painting is at that we're watching right now, but I have to assume we're getting close to the end of the first part of the painting, and then we're going over to the abstraction part. So again, this sketch that you're watching was just me painting just to get warmed up, just to get the gears turning. And sometimes it takes a few of these, but I like to do this whenever I know it's been a week. I try to paint something that I can just throw away. I don't care about it, but at least you on YouTube get to see this. If you want to, let me know if you want to buy this thing. I don't care. I'll have it somewhere in my studio. You can buy it if you want. I really don't. If I hadn't thrown it away by now, send me an offer. Give me an offer on how much you want for this painting. It turned out pretty good though. I can cut it down, cut off the edges and things, and make it presentable. Put it in a frame or something for you. But yeah, this was something new for me. Just kind of talking off the couch, showing you my wrinkly shirt. This is a Jimmy Eat World shirt, by the way. Really great group. Love Jimmy Eat World. Wrinkly is, oh my gosh. If I'm going to be on camera again, I will definitely need to think about ironing my shirt, but I just don't really care. But yeah, so to finish this off, let me do a quick spin around my studio. So as I said, in my studio, let me just give you a quick turn around here, show you what's going on. I got all kinds of fun things happening in here. I have this one's really cool. Really excited about that one. That one's done. And I thought maybe I'd play around with that hand a little bit. I got some other pieces, a lot of empty wall space right now because as I said, I'm shipping some things off to my gallery in Denver. looking forward to them getting that. Hopefully help me get a couple sales, fingers crossed. But yeah, I think this was a fun way to do a video, unedited. I'm not gonna edit this at all. I think this is the way I wanna do it from here on out, is just to tell you my thoughts for the week and see how it goes. Let me know in the comments. I'd love to know what you think of me doing it this way. It's a little nerve-wracking because I've never been on camera this much while doing a YouTube video, but I gotta get better at it, right? How else are you gonna get better if you don't do it? You gotta do it. This is the way to do it, just to do, right? So, thank you all, everybody, for checking this out. I know I just kind of rambled on. That's kind of what I wanna do, is just ramble on a little bit, see how it goes. I feel like the previous videos I was doing, I was just editing. It took forever to edit. You know, you gotta get rid of all those little things, little audio miscues and the stuttering and the ums and the ahs and the so's, all those filler words. I try not to do that, but they always find their way in somewhere. So yeah, anyway, I don't know, I think this is a fun way to do it. Let me know in the comments if you just hate looking at me. Let me know if you love my wrinkly shirt or not. Should I just continue to get things out of the hamper, let them be wrinkly, who cares, right? So, all right, cool. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thought you might get a little bit better sense of who I am as a person just by not editing one of these down. Maybe you hate me now, who knows? Anyway, all right, well, that's it. I'm gonna call it done, stop while I'm ahead before I say anything totally idiotic, which, trust me, if I keep doing it like this without editing, I'm gonna say something stupid. It's guaranteed to happen. Trust me, my IQ is not that high. Let's put it that way. All right, well, I will talk to you all later with another, I'll be back next Wednesday. These come out on Wednesday at 1. That's what I'm always shooting for. This one, I kind of cut this one close because I was so behind on things. It is Wednesday today, so hopefully I can get this uploaded by 1:00 p.m. Central Time. Cool, there's a guy on his bicycle outside, enjoying the day. Cool, I gotta do that. I gotta get outside. All right, well, I will talk to you all. Hopefully you enjoy this video. Leave me some comments. Tell me how much you hate me or love me. I don't care. Either way, I'm not gonna read them anyway. No, I'll read them. Try to be nice. All right, well, I'll talk to you all next week. All right, bye.